actually wonder if Immortals forgot about it in some way, because it could even have worked as a support pick. So I think that's just incredible value for EG this late in the draft. Assuming Kumo has a level of comfort playing it, there's a chance that Immortals was risking the fact that they don't think Kumo is going to be that good at it, and they think Soaz can win that 1v1 Aatrox versus Set, but man, that's a power pick coming late.
And fans of Jizuke during his time playing in the EU LCS or LEC, however you want to brand the flavoring there, they're going to remember Jizuke on this rise. Very popular pick for him over there. And also, the counter to that, Immortals are saying we're going to take the Victor into that for the extra laning power. He's got so much wave control, got a lot of team fight capability there. Plus, Jarvan gets a lot of people stuck there in the Cataclysm, making the dunk bucket. The perfect dunk to pair with it is all that AoE from Victor.
Yeah, personally, I'm happy that Evil Geniuses has put Jizuke back on a 1-3-1 champion that has earlier game agency. The Kayle yesterday against Cloud9 was really off-brand for the way that they've been winning. And I'm looking forward to see if EG can kind of recapture what we saw during their 5-game winning streak and actually be the second best team in the LCS. That's been an ongoing conversation this entire split. A win here puts them in pretty good position to at the least have a tiebreaker game for that second spot.
And remember, their loss yesterday was to Cloud9, who have only lost a single game the entire split. So I'm going to be hesitant to say, oh yeah, they're definitely back to not looking good anymore, because Cloud9 is just a whole other monster. But right now, it's not just Evil Geniuses. We've said it, and we're going to keep saying it. It's Dignitas, Golden Guardians, and Team Liquid fans that are all massive fans of this team right about now. If Immortals wins this, all that talk, all that conversation about who might be able to make it in, are they going to tie break to make some miracle? None of it matters. None of it matters if Immortals stop it here. But right now, with Champion Select done, we are going to be heading into that 5-year to our third game of the day. For many fans, the single most important game of the day. Immortals will take on Evil Geniuses. For Evil Geniuses, they're only playing to make their positioning, their seeding in the playoffs even better. For Immortals, they're playing for a whole lot more. Locking a win in here guarantees them that 6th and final playoff spot, while if they lose, it still keeps hope alive for Dignitas, for Golden Guardians, and for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, the most exciting version of today, personally, is if we have that 4-way tie for the 6th place spot. That would require not only EG to win this game against Immortals, but also for Liquid, after losing to FlyQuest yesterday, to beat the 16-1 C9.
Yeah.
It would be the most absurd of circumstances, but based on what has happened in the previous 2 games today, where we saw the 7-win underdog pick up a win to move to 8, everything has been trending towards that scenario. So we'll see if that continues now. And I think with Jizuke being back on Rise and having the potential global pressure of Svenskeren to start setting up some of these 1-3-1s, it's definitely a possibility.
The last day of the regular season is always such a heaven or hell situation. You either get games that you're on the edge of your seat, just wondering who's going to come out on top, who's barely going to make it into playoffs, or you get 580 carries versus a Rammus because everything's already decided by then and nobody cares. It's such a funny juxtaposition of how important things can or cannot be as Evil Geniuses go for an early invade onto the red.
Spicy invade. There is just a 2-man.
Okay, they're not going to find anybody already at the red. They'll look to steal this one away, but Smithy is there.
Well, Soaz are here, and Ika can move first.
And Hakuo even has made his way into the fight now, and Evil Geniuses are going to be found out. Kumo being chased away by Soaz. Svenskeren having already spent the flash. He's going to try to march his way out here, utilizing the smite onto the Krug to keep himself healthy. Soaz going to be taken very low. He's trying to get away, has to flash. First blood over to the side of Immortals, and more backup is on the way. Ika has made his path up to the top lane, and now, oh my goodness, Immortals, they'll get the first blood, but what kind of an absolute madman show was that in the top lane?
That was thinking that they have Pantheon set, so they're going to be able to win any 2v2, but Hakuho's way ahead of this game. He doesn't go to lane. He comes up here. There's no way EG expected that. What a move by Hakuho to make that roam up, thanks to the early ward giving them a little bit of extra information, and then At this point, Svenskaren's just hoping to be able to burn any additional summoner spells. He gets the flash out of Soaz, but Kumo also has to back away because Aka ended up roaming up. The one small victory that EG can claim from all of these shenanigans is Jizuke did get about half a wave extra for his rise. Everything else was a disaster.
Right. First Blood plus assist money is worth 600 gold, and Immortals are not a full 600 gold ahead. It's closer to about 350 right now because of just the extra advantages both Jizuke and Bang were able to get in their lanes because Immortals collapsed with more people. But it's still an Immortals win there early on.
Yeah, and you can't underestimate the fact that Apollo was sitting alone in lane the whole time Hakuho was participating in that level 1. So definitely a big win for Immortals, but there were definite trade-offs to that happening. You're now summonerless on Hakuho, who just hit level 2, 3 minutes and 36 seconds into the game. You're flashless on your top lane Aatrox when Pantheon has such powerful gank, and you're losing push mid lane. So, yes, great for Xmithy, but he's got to be able to pay this forward, as Svenskeren actually had a temporary level lead before jumping on him after Scuttle.
And the jungle matchup is so interesting between these two teams because when you look at Xmithy and Svenskeren, these are some storied names in the history of the LCS. These are some guys that not only have a history of making it into playoffs, but making it into finals. I don't remember the exact date, but when was the last time a finals didn't contain one of these two players? I think it was quite a while.
The 2015 Summer Finals was Xmithy winning on CLG. Every final since then has had at least one of them, which is ludicrous when you consider how much turnover there is in professional League of Legends to have basically a 5-year streak of these guys being finals junglers.
Absolutely incredible performances from these two over their career, and so much is going to be riding on them to make this game happen too. You've got two immobile mid laners, you've got two top laners. I mean, Set's more gankable than Aatrox is, but neither one of them is going to be flashing and dashing around like a Riven. Svenskeren has made his way up here into the top side. Soaz will be forced to cancel his back, and now he's walking back, but Xmithy's made his way up here. Of course, Xmithy and Soaz, they know that they can't really do a whole lot. Nice pathing there by Xmithy to try to throw Jizuke up into the air and keep Soaz alive, but it will not be enough, and EG bite back.
I gotta hand it to EG, because we saw what happened at level 1. A lot of people would think that's just a full disaster, but EG did the count and said, okay, what did we lose? What did we gain? We gained the fact that the top laner is flashless, and we gained the fact that Jizuke is going to have push mid. What do? We go dive the flashless top laner with our mid laner who has push mid. It's the perfect thing to do in this situation, and Soaz didn't recognize it early enough, tried to back up, basically died near his second tier turret, and look at that, the gold's down to 200, and you got a kill on Jizuke.
And bottom side, Hakuho and Apollo aren't exactly in great shape in this 2v2 either. Hakuho taking a lot of damage there in the 2v2, meaning he has to fall back. Apollo gets a bit of damage on the back end with the piercing arrow, but Xmithy will now move up into enemy territory looking for Svenskeren. Look at the farm difference between these two. Xmithy with a nice steal means he's now level 5 against level 3. Svenskeren has sacrificed a lot of his own farm, playing mostly for the team right now instead of his own gain, and that means Xmithy has built a bit of a lead.
It's a little baby Pantheon. The level 3 guy got his Gromp stolen away. It's going to be hard for him to get back into this one. Like,
just got a rattle instead of a spear.
He doesn't even have a jungle item completed, let alone any AD. And I'm sorry, you actually don't catch up that much by just farming your jungle. So the road back is arduous for Svenskeren. He's going to have to basically make under-leveled ganks work if he wants to come back into this one. Again, I think everything in this game does have its own silver linings. He is up against a Jarvan who, at least with this team composition, will be the main frontliner, so I'm expecting Xmithy to go Cinderhulk. That's not exactly the Jarvan that takes over the game and starts solo killing you as an underleveled Pantheon. So Svenskeren will probably be fine. It's just a pretty good job by Xmithy to take that first blood and make sure he at least opens up a bit of an experience advantage.
Xmithy also having Conquer. Remember back in the days when Warrior Jarvan was more popular, you would often see Electrocute on it to make the ganks that much more explosive. So fully agree. Absolutely expecting the Cinderhulk, especially since Xmithy, has the Bomby Cinder in inventory. I doubt you just pick that up to rush it into a Sunfire Cape. But Svenskeren has made his way towards the bottom lane here. Zazel and Jizuke also coming in.
Everywhere, man.
It's a dog pile onto the bottom lane of Immortals. Flash away there from Apollo gives Hakuho a target to dash to, and that means both Immortals bottom laners are able to stay safe, and EG's attempts are thwarted.
Yeah, that was a little bit misexecuted as far as I could tell. It looked like the turret went immediately on Jizuke based on the Realm Warp. I think if Svenskeren positioned himself differently for the teleport, he could have taken turret aggro and then used his E to tank it with his temporary directional invulnerability. So, bit of a misfire there. I think they actually could have gotten a kill if they played it better.
Kumo and Soaz getting into a 1v1 here into the top side. Haymaker Shield has already been used for Kumo, so Soaz recognizes the opportunity to try to trade back a little bit here onto set before that's available once more. Xmithie, again, using his advantage in the jungle to build advantages for the team, means an early Cloud Drake secured for Immortals.
All right, so still not too much broken open in the early game. The first Drake, well, it's definitely good for Xmithie to pick up. It kind of just extends the level of the jungle difference so far in this game. Like, you can see it's almost double CS. It's definitely Drake. And now, I think the question will be, can EG control anything in this Rift Herald area? Actually, that's not the question. Here comes Kumo. He's got ult. Apollo has no flash.
The question for
Okay,
EG
goodbye.
is how many kills are they going to get bottom lane? The answer is 1 onto the AD carry. Apollo punished there. Kumo utilizing the TP well to take advantage of that positioning. Immortals will now use this chance with the enemy top laner to gone to go for the Rift Herald. Jizuke has made his way up into the top side of the river just to grab the plant for now. Xmithie and Soaz nearby means Jizuke cannot contest this 1 versus 2, and that's another objective secured for Immortals.
Yeah, I think it's really valid to raise the question of, was that teleport worth it? So yes, it does pick up a kill for Apollo, but Bang and Zeyzal immediately recall after. They get no plates on bot turret, and the Rift Herald, since the top laner just teleported away, can't be contested. So you're trading 1 kill and basically only 1 wave of miss CS since Apollo teleported right back to lane for a Rift Herald, which should be, if used properly, 3 plates, maybe first turret as well. It can actually be a win for Immortals, even though it looks so sweet to have Kumo teleport down there onto the flashless AD carry.
Right, that's one thing that I think is worth pointing out this game too. This is the first great example of it. It's a 3 teleport to 2 teleport kind of game. Bang does have the heal, wants more combat power, wants the ability to keep himself alive as the fights go on in this game, but Apollo and Immortals will have more global presence just because of the fact that they do have that extra oh, wait, excuse me, I misspoke. Eka does have cleanse there in the mid lane, so it is the same amount of teleports, just mismatched on which lanes those are going to be firing from. As bottom side, Apollo has made it back. As you already mentioned, he lost 1 wave during the time he was dead, but that's really not a very big deal. And Bang and Zeyzal farming up down here. You can see Bang, BF Sword in inventory, trading up against the Bilgewater Cutlass of Apollo. BF Sword, more raw AD, so these attacks will hit a little bit harder, but Apollo has better sustain.
Yepers, and I do like the fact that EG has been opportunistic, even if a lot of their opportunistic plays haven't necessarily been the good ones, like the level 1 as well as maybe even that teleport bottom lane. But this type of proactivity, I think, as we move into this mid game now where Ryze can Realm Warp and Pantheon can ult, leads to a lot more, many more chances for them to make stuff happen. Svenskeren laying in wait, though. There's a lot of people roaming in.
Immortals trying to collapse onto this bottom side, but won't find the chance. EG sniffs it out. They've got the wards down, and they get back to safety in time. Svenskeren continuing to try to farm up here. You already mentioned the Pantheon ulti online, the Ryze ulti online. Combining globals like that is the reason you draft champions like this. We'll see if EG can continue to make this happen. Eka does have the evolution on his laser, meaning he's able to have that signature Victor wave control that just makes you immediately have to answer if you leave the lane only for a moment. And Jizuke does now have to respond. Svenskeren over the ball, looking for the flash. Here comes your CC. He throws down the gravity well, but it will not be enough. He'll be collapsed upon by the rest of these geniuses. Or will it be enough after all? Eka gets himself away. 100 HP, and he walks out.
The weird thing about cleanse is not only does it cleanse your CC, it gives you CC reduction for the next short period of time, and that's actually what kept Eka alive, because the stuns that came through from Braum ended up being so brief. And then since they use everything, it's almost like Immortals got the skirmish they wanted to drop Rift, and they can get 3 full plates down bottom. Fight top.
So as forcing the flash out of Kumo, threatening the sweet spot on the third Q, means Kumo has to flash away, otherwise he's in a really bad spot moving forward, especially with the World Ender to chase him down. And Rift Hero getting the plate money bottom side, that turret now down below 1 plate's worth of HP. Plate still standing for another 80 seconds or so, but still, it's exactly as you said, a couple plates, if not the full first turret there for that Rift Hero.
Yeah, and Drake 2 coming up, it doesn't actually look like EG is prioritizing this as of yet. Kumo losing his flash would be relatively influential for a potential Drake fight. I'll also have to know Aka is down summoner spells, but Kumo with no teleport means Immortals... Yeah, it means Immortals just get this Mountain Drake uncontested.
Right, Xmithy recognizes that. He'll immediately start the Drake up as soon as it spawns. Apollo and Hakuo have the shove on the wave. They'll move themselves over. Hakuo just in charge of clearing out some of these wards, making sure nobody from the side of Evil Geniuses is able to approach the pit. Svenskaren's around, but he won't get anywhere near close enough to try to smite contest this, and that's 2 Drake advantage over to the side of Immortals, and we will see an Infernal Rift this game.
Man, Infernal... on Varus Victor, if they're able to get up there, is quite powerful. But the way I'm kind of tracking the rest of this game is, like, both teams are moving around a lot.
Yeah.
Even though we're not necessarily seeing that many conversions into kills. And my eyes are going to be on Jizuke, because I think he's going to be trying to make these 1-3-1 plays.
Here we go, 3v1 top side. Soaz slammed to the ground with the showstopper, having to get himself away with the flash.
Might live.
Going to be drumming the turret aggro. Svenskeren now going to be tanking up next, blocking it away with that targeted invulnerability. It was almost sketchy there for a moment, but they juggle the aggro properly, and they get the dive at the top side. The consequence, bottom lane tier 1 turret taken by Immortals. Aka and Xmithy gonna find themselves engaged on here in the mid lane by Zazel and Bang. Aka's eating a lot of damage here. The stun goes through. Xmithy's able to find the knock up in the air. Bang gonna be forced to flash away. Zazel's still looking to find the kill shot onto Aka here, as Zazel now has to try to hobble out. The laser goes through. That is a very poor stopwatch that won't do much of anything except buy him 2 seconds before we sent home in a body bag.
Oh man, so much to unpack there. We'll start with the mid lane. That was ambitious by Bang and Zazel. Like, it's a level 9 Aphelios and a level 8 Braum against a level 11 and goodbye,
Xmithy. Oh, just sticking around a little bit too long. See you later, my friend.
The best laid plans can come crashing down just randomly at the end. Xmithy completely thought after they outplayed that 2v2 in mid lane that they'd be fine, but really the kill going back over to Rise just makes it the worst case scenario, because if Jizuke gets going too much in this game, it will be an EG victory. Really quick, touch on that top lane dive as well. Expect much more of that this game. I think Soaz needs to build pretty defensively, because I think they're going to be trying to crash 2 and 3 people to him frequently this game.
I mean, when you've got an enemy team that has the ability to use those semi-globals and attack what's going to be the lone member of the team, often that is the Aatrox. Considering, I mentioned earlier, the Victor has no teleport this time around. Varus isn't a champion that should ever be really on his own to begin with. You've only got one option for the guy that should really be setting up shop in these side lanes. You can see Aka moving down to clear out this wave right now, but in terms of a world where he's constantly pushing up and being alone, I don't see that being the consistent thing here for Immortals, so fully agree. Soaz is going to have a target on his back for a long time.
And we got ourselves a game. For those people just tuning in now, wondering what's happening today, this game doesn't mean absolutely everything, but it means
close to
a lot. Yeah, so if Immortals win, that means TL can't make playoffs, Dig can't make playoffs, and Golden Guardians can't make playoffs. If EG wins, that means we have at least a 3-way tie for 6th between Immortals, Dignitas, and Golden Guardians, and it could be a 4-way tie for 6th with an Immortals loss and a TL win in Game 4. So that's not even all of the implications that we're talking about. It's just the ones we're going to be focusing on, because even in an EG win, we're going to have 3 tiebreaker games at the end of the day to determine seeding within the top 6, but lots of stuff yet to be decided.
So many things going on. Honestly, I don't even know how a 4-way tiebreaker plays out. I literally don't. Is it a tournament? Like, I'm really not sure.
So, it is resolved more quickly than just being this round robin thing. There are rules on the LOL Esports website that determine how the four-way tie is seeded. I haven't checked them recently, but I've checked them in the past, so I'm going to stop myself now from saying something incorrect. If you do want to check, you can check the rule set on lolesports.com within the NALCS, or rather the LCS.
All right, you guys can go do that are curious at home. Right now, getting back into the game here, you can see Immortals going for their second Rift Herald of this matchup, and that is another one in their pockets. They've secured every neutral objective thus far. First Rift Herald was pretty important in knocking down some early plates, getting in that first turret down there in bottom side. We'll see what else they can find here with this second one. Bottom lane tier 1 under pressure now. EG looking to tie up that turret count. They want to give the solo gold to Jizuke. You already said this Rise, his carry potential is going to be instrumental in the win here for Evil Geniuses. And they'll put more money in his pocket.
Yeah, he is getting going, and he is the biggest problem that Immortals have to deal with this game. But even while he was pushing out that lane, Kumo was getting the wave going in top, and this time he actually has teleport. So this isn't going to be the Drake that I expect EG to give over. The fight itself, we also need to track Jizuke, because he's a flashless Rise right now. In fact, both carry threats of EG, Bang and Jizuke, are flashless. So Xmithy's engage, and the way that's layered by Immortals is so important, even though EG's the one who's to go first.
Aka caught out here, going to be initiated on by Spinskaran as the fight also breaks out over to the left here in the blue side jungle. Kumo going to be tanking up there at the start as Aka's able to disengage in the bottom lane. Now the Cataclysm comes down. Xmithy tanking these guys up as Evil Geniuses are still grouped up as 5. Realm Warp going to come in here. Hakuo going to be caught out, slammed up, brought down, almost not quite, but Xmithy is caught and punished. Bang, grabbing the kill, and that is a 1-0 for Evil Geniuses.
And the jungler's down, so Spinskaran can't get out-smoked at this Infernal Drake, and that is actually what just makes Immortals decide they can't contest this whatsoever. Again, it's EG who make the proactive play. Throughout that whole fight, it was Immortals just reacting to what EG was trying to do. Flash, cleansing away in the top side. Xmithy actually defensively cataclysming to just try and trap the chase. And it's another big win for EG.
EG pulling ahead here as we nearly approach that 20-minute mark. Soaz just tried to use the Umbral Dash over the wall, but didn't quite get over the wall like he wanted. Now he's going to find Jizuke, who instantly chunks him for half his HP, just Rise things, and then walks away.
Man, getting some information on if we get the four-way tiebreaker. We're so far away from this place, but basically how it works, it's TL, Dig, Golden Guardians, Immortals. In seeding order, this is what I just got from a producer. It says TL plays Immortals, Dig plays Golden Guardians, and the winners play for 6th place. So they get ranked.
So it is a tournament.
It is a tournament. It's a 3-game tournament that is seeded based off of previous results of some kind. But yeah, that's how it would work if we end up getting that four-way tie.
We'll look forward to that if and only if Immortals lose this game here. Their fate still entirely under their own control. All they have to do is win this game against Evil Geniuses. They lock that 6th spot. It is theirs, and no one else can take it from them. They'll summon the Rift Herald up here in the top lane. They'll look to shove down this remaining tier 1 turret, Soaz trying to trade aggressively into Kumo here to allow Shelly to do her thing, but won't be able to get the job done. And that means the turret still stands. The gold only 500 apart between these two squads. Immortals, they've got the Rakan, they've got the Jarvan, they have these initiation tools, but EG has to be grouped up, has to be in a spot where Immortals can use them, and so far, it's been EG just being so much better about utilizing those semi-globals to make things happen.
Yeah, they definitely feel like they have the momentum in this game, but we also have to know that this game can go in a lot of different directions. We have Aka working up towards a late-game victor. We have what looks to be a Rageblade Varus coming in for Apollo that would actually shred in some of these extended fights. But if we just look at the map right now, you see the 1-3-1 in action. We see Jizuke off, pushing up, creating lane pressure. No one on Immortals can actually match him in a 1v1. So they kind of have to let him get push unless they're crashing the whole team, or they have to try and find an engage on the rest of EG. So they're sending multiple people over here, and they can't even stop him from getting the blue buff. So Jizuke is starting to get a little out of control.
Jizuke is in charge in the bottom half of the map right now. Aika rotating over just to catch that wave. He was being shadowed by an ally just to make sure Jizuke didn't pop him instantaneously, as Soaz has to walk his way back up topside. Kumo has shoved that wave back out. Remember, the top tier 1 turret for Immortals is already gone, so Soaz wants to catch that wave before it collides all the way with tier 2. He'll clear that one out, no problem. But the game's feeling pretty slow right now. Neither one of these teams really overextending themselves, trying to make anything too crazy happen before that next Infernal Drake is summoned up here. 2 minutes until that's live.
Still such a close game in stats, but it really does feel like the game is turning in the favor of EG. The Hurricane and Infinity Edge power spike being hit by Bang. Also, the carries flashes being back up for EG. And the fact that they constantly have these waves pushed. So even though Immortals is catching the waves and keeping the farm close, it's not giving them meaningful windows with which to force plays. So I really do like what EG has been doing to keep control of this game.
Carry flashes up, not just for EG, but Immortals as well. All the heavy hitters, all the cannons this game, ready to go with those summoner spells, as EG has started up the Baron, and Immortals appears to be none the wiser.
Helios kills it fast.
They are,
but they're checking.
Smithy will want to...
There's a control where they're going to see this.
Throw something down in there. The Baron's already down to 3k.
I mean,
they have to go in. The flag is down into the pit. Smithy looking to go in. Kumo with a wonderful job. The showstopper living up to the name perfectly and shutting down Immortals' chances at stealing this one away. Soaz is in the World Ender. Smithy's able to bring down the Cataclysm. Scarin will fall, and Immortals have to try to find some more than just that. They have lost the Baron only 23 minutes in. They're looking to chase down the rest of Evil Geniuses. Kumo finds shelter underneath the tier 1 turret, but shelter it shall not remain. The turret falls, Kumo falls. And that's a strike back from Immortals after losing that Baron. But at the same time, Jizuke claims the tier 2 bottom.
Yeah, I think if Scarin and Kumo wanted to, they could type in all chat worth, because that was a sweet sneak. The fact that they didn't hesitate once Smithy warded with a control ward, and Kumo just immediately suppressed him out of smite range was awesome. From now on, though, the game is going to stay pretty quick. Kumo's up in 10 seconds. Scarin has ult. Immortals would like to secure this Infernal Drake, but if they don't get good positioning and Jizuke pops off in the fight, 3 people still have Baron on EG, and they could wreak havoc. He's going back to finish his item. I think he's going to get a Spellbinder, and I think he's coming right back to fight.
Jizuke returning to the fight with the teleport. Immortals have the Drake down to 2,000. Scarin's in the pit, and he's able to steal it away. Scarin with the smite is an MVP from Summer. Immortals now trapped up in the pit. The AoE is going to come in massive, and the health bars are being shredded. Jizuke on a killing spree. Aika gets a shutdown onto Bang, but Immortals will be eviscerated in this fight.
Oh my god, that was just the dream for Jizuke. You finish your death cap, 300 CS, 25-minute rise, and oh, by the way, here's the enemy team trapped in the Drake pit. Oh, they didn't get the Drake either, so now you're double Infernal Rise. Oh my god, that was just amazing from EG and Jizuke. And now, after getting the near ace, they can just continue to accrue gold with these outer turrets.
Jizuke putting those carry pants on today. 4-0 and 4 on the rise, making things happen, supplying the damage. 307 farm at 25 minutes. Disgusting stuff.
Yeah, so they actually caught him on a ward for the last bit of his recall, so they said, okay guys, we have to go fast, but he immediately goes back, buys death cap, has the haste, so him and Kumo come into the flank, and Immortals, they were trying to move in because they knew that they were getting flanked from behind to buy just enough time to get in. Kumo does a bunch of work there with his Haymaker, while the spell fluxes are just bouncing all around EG. I'd have to watch that fight a few times in slow motion to see all the damage that Jizuke actually did, but my current estimates is a lot.
I think that's a pretty safe bet, my friend. Immortals now down 4,000 gold. The Drakes are tied up. The Baron has worn off from Evil Geniuses. Immortals trying to hold on in this one, stop this EG snowball from getting greater and greater, but Jizuke is working on the Hourglass, so the opportunity to ever punish this hyper carry for Evil Geniuses is diminishing as time marches forward. Immortals with control over the Scuttle Crab, I guess that's one very, very small victory, but considering no neutral objectives are even available, it won't do a whole lot.
Yeah, and it was also really important. Just want to give a bit of kudos to Svenskeren and the rest of EG for getting the last two, what were kind of 50-50 type scenarios. The Baron, where they had the coordination to suppress the enemy jungler outside of the Baron pit, so Svenskeren could secure that. And I think in that last one, just straight up Svenskeren getting the better smite on Xmithy, who is one of the best smite stealers I've ever seen. So really clutch there by Svenskeren and EG to get these objectives and move closer to this victory.
Zazel caught out by the Infernal Chains. Immortals looking for a chance to go in. Apollo misses the Chains of Corruption. Pretty big teamfight ulti down now. EG looking for a chance to punish. Jizuke rotating over from the bottom side. He's already got this wave just shoved up to the turret. He never takes a break. 337. In the 2 minutes that I mentioned his farm the last time, he got another 35.
Yeah, it's because at this point, he clears the wave so quickly that he then just moves into the jungle and takes that too. So he's able to get more than the normal just 2 waves per minute rate that a side laner would be able to get because he's just so powered up.
Absolutely incredible strength from this Ryze. One more item, and he will be full build. 28 minutes into the game, he does have 5 items if you include the boot. Compare that to Aka, who's sitting on 3.5 with boot included. Not the best comparison of mid lane strength here. Immortals trying to find some way to win, but it's looking so incredibly difficult. How do you ever fight through this Ryze?
You gotta find a way to pick them out, and it's just hard because the rest of EG is moving around the map well, and Jizuke, we talked so much at the start of the year about how he was kind of just off on his own page and the rest of EG was unable to keep up, but they've really worked on that throughout the split, and the team actually seems to be in pretty good synchrony. When he's top, like if Immortals isn't going to send 2 or 3 people for him, they gotta fight. But you can see EG is just kind of letting Jizuke go to work, not staying within the engage range of Hakuho, who is flashless. So until the Rakan gets a flash for a snappier engage, they can't get a clean thing, and Jizuke just takes more solo turret gold for himself.
Yeah, EG are wisely not forcing when they don't need to force. I feel like all too often we see teams say, all right, we got our split pusher in position, let's force 4v5 for some reason, but today, EG are now going to be stuck in fight here in the enemy jungle. It's going to be the shield from Kumo blocking up so much damage, but the Immortals are once again stuck in the dunk bucket. Slam it through the hoop, Jizuke. Everybody's in the wrong spot. Xmithy's Cataclysm traps his own team, and EG take yet another team fight.
And that was perfect by EG. Jizuke pushed top lane, got the turret. As soon as Aka matched, Jizuke said, okay, I'm coming. So just start a 4v4. EG do. They just walk it in with Kumo to get the start. Pantheon ult comes in over the top, and by the end of the fight, it's a 5v4. Again, they kill Xmithy, means they get to this Baron, and Captain Flowers, it's feeling like an EG win. And that possibility for that 4-way tie at 6th seems a lot.
It's looking entirely likely that EG win this game. Now, important to point out that Immortals were in a game yesterday where they were up an Ocean Soul, an Ornn, 10,000 gold, and the entire game looked like it was going to go their way as well, but then it didn't. Anything could happen in Week 9 LCS play, but you would expect a 6-item Ryze 30 minutes into the game, 1 Drake away from an Infernal Soul, to be able to close this casket.
He's just buying 2,500 gold items every reason.
He's got 400 farm at 30 minutes.
He's generating so much income. And not only does he have 400 farm, I'd love to see the breakout of how much gold he's gotten from turrets, because it feels like EG has 6 turret kills. Almost all of them have felt like it's been solo gold to Jizuke. So he's just so
where's my Jeff Bezos Ryze skin? Jeff Bezos is bald like Ryze, right? You can just have a skin where Ryze is so much richer than everybody else as Immortals try to make a play onto Kumo, but it just doesn't work, man.
Yeah, well, at least they only burned Cataclysm. Silver linings. Ichi just has so much freedom here to probably take 3 inhibitors, maybe the game.
Well, they'll immediately shred the first inhibitor turret. Aka's chillin', just trying to clear away as many minions as he can. So as an Xmithy coming around from behind, seeing if they can find the opportunity to engage. Chains of Corruption make their mark. Aka looking to provide the damage here with a Chaos Storm, but Kumo's made his way in from the side, and the Moonlight Vigil finds everybody. That's a lot of AoE onto the Immortals lines, and here comes Jizuke. The backup is there, and that is all they'll need to do. Evil Geniuses forcing Immortals back into the fountain, slaughtering them on their own steps. And now they'll take down the Nexus turrets. They'll take down Immortals. And now, oh my goodness, chat, we are in store for some tiebreakers because 6th place is anybody's game.
Immortals fail to clinch the number 6 seed. All they needed coming into this week was a single win. They've now gone 0-2. Golden Guardians and Dig have both gone 2-0. So at the very least, that's a 3-way tie for 6th with teams at 8 and 10. But if you look at those standings, we got a little old Team Liquid, 4-time defending champion, who's 7 and 10. They're playing against Cloud9. If they win, we got ourselves a 4-way tie. And the way that would work would be they'd be randomly drawn into a bracket. I got confirmation on this. Then one will play the other. Winner of that goes to the final. The other one will play the other. Winner of that goes to the final. It's resolved in 3 games, and we'd have our 6th and final playoff team. But also, depending on what happens in the other 2 games, we have 3, 4, or 5 possible tiebreaker games. So many implications to work through. Congratulations to EG for picking up that win and having a good chance at getting the 2nd place seed in the regular season. But we're in for some fun, Captain Flowers.
Stay tuned for the rest of the madness. He already described it. There is so much on the line here. If you are a Team Liquid fan, you best not be going anywhere as we're about to step away to set up game number 4, TL versus C9. In order for them to do it, they have to take down the 16-1, already locked number 1 seed. But with the way things are going today, anything is possible. We'll see you right back here after the break.